Hello, everybody out there in the internet. I am Josh Jepson, and welcome. Thank you to everybody over on Patreon who submitted a question for this Q&A. I'm very excited to get to your questions. But first, I wanted to give you a quick life update. So I've been in this moving limbo now for nearly 2 months. Actually, it's just now just approaching 2 months in like a couple of days here. I am officially getting into my new place in the beginning of November, which is very exciting. And I think that that's going to make things so much easier to manage and organize and make videos more consistent and make streams more consistent. So that's my little update. I have plans to tell you the entire story of the last couple of months here on this channel probably in the next week. So once I get settled into my new place, I could sit down and actually talk to you guys more in depth about this. But in the meantime, I figured it would be fun to do a little Q&A. We got some fun questions. We got some deep questions. First and foremost, Surf Clay, thank you for your question. Says, since it's spooky season, what are your favorite movies/shows to watch around Halloween? I'd go with Over the Garden Wall and Nightmare Before Christmas myself. Totally agree with you. I've never seen Over the Garden Wall. I have no idea what that is. But Nightmare Before Christmas is definitely one of my go-to Halloween movies. I usually like to watch it closer to Christmas because it's also kind of a Christmas movie. More Halloween-y, but, you know, it's a great movie to watch between Halloween and Christmas, so sometime over Thanksgiving, etc. So, yeah, Nightmare Before Christmas, for sure. My wife, Brooke, you guys know Brooke, she has turned me on to actual real horror movies over the last, decade that we've been together. And so every year we like to watch, we watch horror movies all the time, regardless of spooky season. But some horror movies that I actually would add to my list to watch around Halloween is like the Saw movies. In 2020, we watched not all of the Saw movies. We watched like the first 4 Saw movies, which progressively get worse as they go, and a bunch of other horror movies. But Saw, the first one, I would absolutely watch that again. Around Halloween, probably. It's become... I didn't enjoy the process of watching these movies, but that's part of the fun of it, is that it's gory, horror-y bullshit. So, that's something that I would like to do. I might even go and watch it again at some point soon here. So that's one of my favorite ones to watch. Honestly, I'm not that big on movies and TV shows, really. I'm trying to think of even another show that I would watch. I kind of like American Horror Story. Some of the seasons are pretty good. Like the first season I really enjoyed. And there's a couple other seasons in there that I really enjoyed. And I think they recently announced another American Horror Story season, which I haven't been keeping up with it. But that's another one that comes to mind. So yeah, great question. Thank you so much. Also, I'm going to pass these questions off to the comments. So if you want to answer any of these questions yourself in the comment section, go for it, because some of them are fun ones that anyone could answer. Some of them are ones specifically for me, like this one. Callum64, thank you for your question, says, I really enjoyed your old vlog series, and I was wondering if you plan to make them unlisted for us to watch. It's for nostalgia, and also a nice time capsule to see how far you've come. So I'm glad you asked this, actually, because so you're talking about the old Jepscon vlog days. That was my original vlog channel, Jepscon. Some of you probably remember that. And you're right, there's a lot of nostalgic stuff in there. And I'm really glad that you asked about it, because, in fact, I have plans. I've been thinking about this for a while, to bring back old vlogs in a throwback series on this channel, on the main vlog channel, the podcast vlog channel, the Jepson channel here on YouTube. And I think it would be fun to do release an old vlog once in a while and be like, this is the throwback, and with a fun little intro that makes it clear that it is not a new vlog. It's something that I've been thinking about for a long time, and I even go back and watch some of those old Jepscon vlogs and other vlogs from the past, just for nostalgia, and just for as a time capsule, right? So I have access to all that and you guys don't. That's kind of garbage. I won't release everything, but I think it would be fun to once in a while throw up a throwback, a Throwback Thursday kind of thing on the channel to fill out space and time. So that's something that I'm thinking about. That's going to be a 2023 thing, though. I don't think I'm going to do that before the end of the year. So moving on to C-Boy. Thank you, C-Boy, for the question. It says, I always loved your original vlog series. This kind of ties into the last one. And wondered if there's a video you consider should be your favorite I always think back fondly on the video of you and Super Genius cutting stuff with his sword and Ramen Origins. I don't even know what that one is. Ramen Origins. I don't remember that. Can't tell you how many times I watched those on repeat back in middle and junior high. So C-Boy will be looking forward to the vlog throwback eventually. So the one that always comes to mind, I don't remember a lot, but the one that comes to mind is the vlog where I go to Los Angeles and was invited out by Nintendo to do a 48-hour film challenge. And that was right around when I started doing the weekly vlog proper. And I think one of the first vlogs was me going to MagFest, which is also a great vlog. And then immediately following that, I went to Los Angeles. And that was one of the most magical times of my life. I was so happy to be a part of that. I was so honored to be invited by Nintendo. I met a lot of great people there, other creators who are way better at creating stuff than I was. Like, I was just like the Let's Play guy, and then all the other people were like proper film creators with like film backgrounds, and like they have done films before and all this other stuff, but they were also content creators on the side. Me, I was a content creator first, and my content was entirely Let's Plays. So I felt out of place, but also I learned a lot, and I got to shoot a cool video. So like, that's awesome. You know, and like I said earlier, like all those old vlogs, not all of them, but some of those old vlogs will end up on this channel eventually as a throwback. And that'll probably be one of them. I definitely will be one of them for sure. Trill Girl gave me a question pretty last minute here. I messaged in the Patreon Discord. I was like, anybody got any burning questions for me? And Trill Girl's burning question was, if animals could talk, which animal would be the rudest and which animal would be the nicest? It did not take me long to think about this. I thought about, I read that question and I sat down and I was gonna like type out a little answer so I have my notes and everything. And I was thinking, ostriches would probably be pretty rude. It's like I'm a motherfucking dinosaur, bitch. You stupid measly apes don't matter. But then I was thinking, like, it took me a little longer to figure out an animal that would be nice. But I think a clownfish would. It's in the name. It's a clownfish. Look at how colorful those little guys are. I just imagine that they're like cracking jokes left and right. I want a talking clownfish in my life. So we need that. Shout outs to Finding Nemo. Asan3 jumps in on the animal questions and asks, what are your top 3 favorite animals? And this was super easy for me because I had a couple of these animals as pets. Mice, number 1. Raccoons, number 2, and turtles. Love those. I had a pet mouse and also a rat when I was a kid. The pet mouse was named Amy, and I got her as a science experiment. Yeah. No, so like there was a science festival or like a science fair kind of deal happening at school, and my whole thing was how to properly take care of a mouse. Don't worry, it's not scary. How to properly take care of a mouse, and that was like I had like the whole documentation of me taking care of this mouse for its lifespan, and like what a mouse needs and etc. And I don't think it was a very well thought out science experiment. I don't think it was really a science experiment, but that's the best thing. And also I got a pet mouse out of it. And I had a rat too. Her name was, the rat is actually a more interesting story. So I had a dream where I went and got a pet rat. It was a tan colored rat. And in the dream, the rat's name was Jingle Bells. And I woke up the next day and I was like, Mom, I have to get a pet rat, like now. And I have to name it Jingle Bells. And so like that week, I think, we went and found a tan rat at a pet store. Probably a rat that was going to be eaten by like some sort of snake. But we saved her and named her Jingle Bells. And she was my favorite little, oh my God, rats are so cute. I follow an account on TikTok called The Rat Stooges, and I just love seeing cute rats pop up on my feed constantly. Turtles, also, I had a pet turtle when I was a kid, and his name was Frederick, and that was less fortunate. He was a painted turtle that I caught in the wild. Don't do that. Don't take animals out of the wild and put them in a box. Not cool. But when I was a kid, I was like, okay, let's do that. And I named him Frederick, and he did not live very long because he was stuck in a little box, and I was a kid and unable to take care of animals very well. So that was a learning experience, and I am sorry, Frederick, for shortening your lifespan by putting you in a box. I appreciate your existence, though. Raccoons, though, I have yet to have a pet raccoon. Maybe one day. So Ilea asks a fairly deep and important question that I can answer, and you guys can answer this one in the comments too. What's the biggest thing that gives you motivation to create? And then what actually gets you off the couch to do so? And so I'm just going to read what I wrote, because I wrote a note down here, but it was pretty long and involved, and so I'm going to read exactly what I wrote. My biggest motivation for a long time has been Brooke, my wife. And the idea that making a great life for the two of us, that's part of my motivation. That's my biggest motivation, is making a great life for me and my wife. And but sometimes you need the small motivation to get you up off the couch. And that definitely changes over the years, of course. Like, as you're developing your cognitive functions, you realize that there are certain things that motivate you now that they didn't motivate you before, and etc. So for me, it's... right now, at least, it's the idea that people rely on my videos and my streams for entertainment and to be happy sometimes. Like, I get a lot of messages from people that are like, this stuff, like watching your stuff really makes me happy, and I'm glad that you do it. And that, to me, is my motivation to create every day. That's my smaller motivation. You know, I have the big life goals and the big life motivation, but I have the smaller one too from you guys. You guys enjoy what I make, and I make more because you enjoy what I make, because you, and so on. And it goes back and forth, and I really love that about it. So Ilea also mentions their ADHD and how that can affect getting up off the couch and doing a thing. The executive function is gone. And I totally get that, because I too steep myself in ADHD. So for me, dealing with the ADHD, like, I have medication now and stuff like that, so that does help. But it really helps to set up the next day, like before I go to bed. So I'll set reminders of little things that I need to do and make notes about what things I want to work on and how I want to work on them every day. And that's not always easy to do also. Like, sometimes you need motivation to do that even, but it's something that really has helped me over the years to get organized for the next day. Because if I wake up and I have no idea, no recollection of the things that I wanted to work on, and I look at my phone and there's blank notes or whatever, it's like, well, what do I do today, right? Like, I can come up with it off the spot, and sometimes I do, but it does help to get things started if I already have like a small little thing, like not too much. You don't want to go overboard, because if I have like 20 reminders, that is also a block. So it's like 1 or 2 reminders of like important things that I need to do, and I'll set that in the morning, and that usually gets me going, and it gets my brain going so that I remember the things that I need to get done. So that's what's been helping me. This is another great question about goals and motivation. Kim, thank you, Kim, for your question. Are there any specific goals that you want to accomplish, either professional with your content or personal, now that you're surrounded by friends? So yeah, little did you know, I'm moving. Haha, I talked about that at the beginning of the video. I'm moving, and I'm gonna be near friends for the first time, quite literally in my whole life. And those friends are other content creator friends. So that's an exciting prospect. And, you know, I'm like really glad to be around friends. And I think that's because it helps get the ideas flowing. I'm able to talk about my ideas and the stuff that I'm working on with my other content creator friends, and they can share their ideas, and we can sort of bounce off of each other. Whereas before, it was like me and Brooke, and we would talk about ideas and stuff, and that worked really well. But having a lot of brains involved in everything that you're working on is super helpful. And you can ask questions and get feedback in real time, instead of just like you have to send a video off to somebody or, you know, whatever, which is another step, right? And it's not something I ever really did. You know, I never really asked for feedback on any of the stuff I've worked on. I just get feedback from you guys. So like my big goal over the next couple of months at least is to get all of my personal documents and finances organized, and on the content side, make sure that I get to a point where the schedule is consistent. I did really good this year with my stream schedule. I started making a stream schedule graphic every week, and I would release it on Monday or Tuesday or whatever. And normally I would stick to that, although this last couple of months, it's been very difficult to stick to a schedule because of this moving limbo that I've been stuck in. And also my friend Hal Diamond came to visit for 3 weeks this past month. And so like I've been really trying to spend my time with friends and socialize a lot, something I haven't been able to do in years. So the content schedule has gotten out of whack. But my goal is to get back on that content schedule starting in November and also apply that to YouTube videos as well. I'd love to release like a weekly schedule every Monday saying like, here's the videos coming out this week, look out for them. Or at the very least, make one for myself. I don't even have a schedule for video releases for myself. And you guys have seen, like, it took me like almost a month to upload a freaking video on the main channel. But that's all changing now. Hal went home. We're getting closer and closer to when I can actually move into my new place. And when I get in there and I have a dedicated space to work out of for the first time. I'm like, right now I'm in an Airbnb. That's this place. It's really nice. But, you know, I'm set up in the living room in the Airbnb on a folding table with my computer, right? So, like, it's not ideal for content creation, for sure. So that's one of the things that I really want to work on. Those are all very general, though. And they did say, Kim asked specifically what goals I have. Specifically, I would like to vlog more and do more podcasts. Both of these things have been a passion project for me for years. You know, I've podcasted on and off. I've vlogged on and off for years. I would love to make that a main part of my life, something that I get to do, documenting my life experiences, and sharing them with you guys. And I really liked the format that I had going with the podcast, you know, last year, or the year before last. It's been a long time since I've done a podcast. But I really like the format that I put together. I'm excited to do more of those going forward. And I'm relearning how to vlog and how to present myself on camera again. And once I get comfortable with all that again, I think it's going to be great. And you're going to see a cascade of those things coming out. It really is a thing where, like, the vlog and the podcast are not monetized, at least for now. And if I were to monetize them outside of Patreon, like, Patreon is really what funds vlogs and podcasts. But it's not something that costs a lot of money, but it does mean that it takes away focus from the stuff that where I do make money, and I need to pay for like rent and internet and food and stuff. So like I need to put my focus on my actual job part of what I do, and less so on the bonus creative stuff that I get to do on the side. And so those have always been kind of a hobby for me, and that's why they've always taken a back seat immediately as soon as I need time to work on other things. So my goal is to make more vlogs and more podcasts in the coming year, starting soon. I mean, starting with this, really. And, you know, it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of time, but I appreciate your support, and I can't wait to show you guys more of my life and things that are changing. There's a lot of crazy stuff happening right now. I can't wait. Like I said, I'm going to make another video very shortly talking about the entire story and detailing more things than I have before, even on Patreon. I detailed some of what I was doing with my move of the last couple months on Patreon, but I'm going to put it all in one place publicly here for you guys to watch soon. Final question from Space the Whale. Thank you, Space. Waffles or pancakes? I know, an important question, maybe the most important question of them all. Waffles or pancakes? I am Team Waffles, and I'll tell you why. Pancakes, not bad. They're not bad. Pancakes are fine. Put some stuff in them, sure. Syrup on top, whatever. Not too much, because I'll tell you why. Pancakes get real soggy when you put syrup on them, all right? Waffles, they hold their shape, man. They got little cups for syrup. You can put them in all the cups, and it sits there. It's nice. They do get soggier than it was, but not super, super soggy like a pancake. By the time you're done with a stack of pancakes, it's just a mess, right? Waffle, though, less so. And I think I like the crunch of it better. It's a better texture for me than the soft, bready, soggy bread texture of the pancakes. So I think that's a pretty reasonable answer, right? But you can answer that question as well. Waffles or pancakes? Thank you so much for watching. Once again, my name is Josh Jepson, and I can't wait to continue doing stuff on this channel. I will see you guys around the internet. Thank you for watching.